Thank you. Good evening. I'm Laurie Summers, an architect and DTLA resident, and as I'll suggest this evening, more specifically, a neighbor. Next slide. As I make my way home to the fashion district, I pass neighbors setting up their beds or already asleep. A notable portion of my unhoused neighbors are employed in some capacity. They go to bed early and wake up early each morning. They look at messages on their phone and pack up their belongings, most of which will get placed carefully in plastic and stowed in a backpack, utility manhole, or on a rooftop as they head out for their day. Their tendency to be impermanent often adding to their invisibility, both physically and in conversation. We have the opportunity to consider the effect that when developments we work on disrupt this delicate, sometimes invisible ecosystem, and what efforts we can employ to mitigate these impacts. The current pandemic sheds harsher light on the difficulties of the typically employed unhoused and the domino effect of outside forces on their daily lives. I'd like to share a bit about a recent experience of one of my employed unhoused neighbors as I question how we bring our real estate community on board at a personal level. Chino, as he goes by, has for many years worked and lived at a parking structure. He had a room that evolved with the acquisition of a futon, mini fridge, microwave, and small TV. The door has gone from a solid edifice to one with a window, then AC unit, and finally a cat door. Chino's room gained some of the comforts of a studio apartment, but at the end of the day, it was still a garage elevator lobby, and underneath, it was still truly not his. As the pandemic reached LA, concern grew. Nearly Chino's entire diet was takeout, and restaurants nearby were closing. Would he have enough money to get food with the limited use of the parking that provided his income? One afternoon, all the signs and staff were gone from where he worked and lived. When no one came to park for months, the parking contract had gone to another company. That meant Chino was gone too. No notice, no job, no shelter, and without the comforts he had, and without his beloved cats. I worried where Chino had gone. While he occasionally chose a night of sleep under the stars, it had been in relative security, not out on the sidewalk. What about food? As with many employed unhoused, he is not necessarily connected to, aware of, or interested in partaking of services. He purchases meals one at a time, washes up in the garage bathroom, and leads a generally simple life. As the days went on, we fed his cats while we waited and kept our eyes open for any sighting. Eventually, with some advocacy, Chino did make it back. However, he is still not fully employed, so there is concern about the sustainability of the situation. While employment lends a level of stability and routine to anyone's life, many of our employed unhoused neighbors maintain such a fragile balance that is currently exacerbated. Like each of us, they could use a good neighbor to listen, to notice when something is amiss, to be an ally. So maybe that's where responsibility in the real estate world actually starts. For me and Chino, that often means stories of past adventures and making sure there is plenty of cat food around, because listening and helping his kittens is a way that I can connect without imposing expectations, and a way that I can make sure that I am available to be a good neighbor. Thank you.